Hi guys, so today for my new video I thought I'd film 5 of my favourite dupes. So for those of you who don't know what a dupe is, it's basically a cheaper alternative to an expensive product. Now through my time of being interested in beauty, I've picked up a few dupes along the way which I've told my friends, my family, I've used myself on some of the products that I really like, but sometimes are either too hard to get hold of here in the UK or are just simply quite expensive to keep repurchasing when there are cheaper alternatives out there. Now don't get me wrong, like, a product is a product, and I guess in some cases you really do pay what you get for, but these are just some cheaper alternatives that I've come across as I've been interested in beauty, so I just thought I'd share them with you. I'm going to do a 2-part series of this, so this is going to be my first 5 favourite dupes, and then in a few months when I've got the second half together, I'll show you the second half of my favourite dupes. So without further ado, let's get started on my 5 that I'm going to show you is a lipstick. Now the expensive one is the Chanel lipstick in Rouge Coco Shine in the colour Romance 55. This is my favourite everyday pink day-to-day lipstick. It's in this colour. I love it. I wear it, if it wasn't that expensive, I literally wear it every single day. It's so soft, it moisturises your lips, it's literally just your lips are better colour. It just gives me that tiny flush of pink, and I honestly can say this is my favourite lipstick. This is the colour that it shows. It's really pigmented and very creamy and moisturising. So being the price that this lipstick is and the amount that I wear it, I knew that I had to go out there and find something that was just as good, if not better, as this lipstick. So during my search I came across the Revlon Super Lustrous Cream in 415 Pink in the Park, which looks like this, which is very similar to the Chanel, and as you can see swatched next to each other are very similar. This is a little bit more of a pink, and I would say it's not as shiny and it doesn't give as much of a glossy effect on your lips, but sometimes I actually prefer that because I can find the Chanel one might just look too much like like a gloss, and this gives a little bit more of a matte. I really like this. I think it's a way cheaper alternative to carry around in my bag, and I kind of like to just save my Chanel for the days when I just need a bit of a pick-me-up and I just want something to make me feel better. You know, nothing feels better than popping on a little bit of a Chanel lipstick, but I just found it too expensive to be wearing every single day, and I thought this was just as a good alternative. It isn't as moisturising as the Chanel lipstick, but for literally a third of the price, you know, you can't really fault it. What I'm going to talk about is a makeup remover. I haven't actually got the expensive, or not really expensive, this is more of a product that's hard to purchase here in the UK, and that's Bioderma, which is like a molecular water which you can put on a cotton pad and just sweep it across your face, and it literally gets rid of everything. It's amazing, but in the UK it's really hard to find. They are stocking it more and more now in the UK, but it is really hard to get your hands on it, and for someone like me who doesn't actually go to France or America, no, they don't sell it in America, countries like France and Europe where they do stock it a lot more, I can't really get it that much. So whenever I do have it, I literally savour every single drop, but I've run out, which is exactly why I had to go out and find an alternative. Now I know there's been quite a lot of hype over the L'Oreal molecular water, but it just didn't cut it for me. It just wasn't as good. I had to find that I was using quite a few cotton pads and it wasn't really getting rid of my waterproof mascara. That is until I came across the Garnier molecular cleansing water, which looks like this. It literally looks like Bioderma as well. Now I would say this is a really good alternative to Bioderma. It's not as good as Bioderma, but you can get it so easily in the UK. You can get it at practically like any Boots, and it's always on offer. It's about £3 something, and it is really good. Like, it does get rid of everything. Sometimes with the more stubborn waterproof mascaras I'm having to hold the cotton pad over my eyes for a little bit longer, or I might have to go over it again, but it is really good. And for it being really accessible, this has basically become my new favourite makeup product. That I'm going to talk about is a dupe for my all-time favourite bronzer, which is, and I have it here in the One Night Stand palette, which is the NARS Laguna bronzer. Show you close up. Looks like that. I have it here in a palette which I got recently, because when this is the one that I use it more in, because my big one ran out. It's kind of like this brown. I use this to contour, bronze up my face, add a bit of colour onto my skin, and it's amazing. But it's really, really, really expensive. So in my search, I came across the e.l.f. contouring blush and bronzing powder, which comes in like this little compact, and it's this. And it literally is almost identical. They're the two colours together. I would say that the Laguna is a little bit more pigmented, so you need less on your brush to apply on your face, and the e.l.f. one might be a little bit more like harder to blend and use, but it is so much cheaper. I think it's literally like an eighth of the price, and it is just as good. If you want to try Laguna because you've heard a lot about it and you don't want to splash out, I mean, it is just as good. It's basically the same thing, just a lot cheaper. e.l.f. ship to the UK. I think they ship internationally, really reasonably priced, and I love Laguna and I will repurchase it when it runs out. But for someone who doesn't actually know if they're going to like it and doesn't actually want to spend that much, I think this is a really good alternative, especially because it even comes with a blusher in there as well, and it's a really good handy compact. Like, this is so small, but if I'm travelling anywhere and I know that I'm going to need to touch up my blusher and my bronzer, this is so easy to just pop in your bag, whereas this is a lot bigger. And if you're going like just for a night at your friend's house, you don't want to be taking maybe such a big palette, whereas this is so small and easy, and it comes with a mirror as well. So yeah, so that's the third dupe of my 5 top dupes that I'm going to talk about. Is also from that palette that I just showed you, the NARS palette, and it's a dupe for the NARS blusher Orgasm, which is this colour there. It's kind of like a rose goldy shimmery colour. I'll show you on my finger. It looks like that. It's really nice to give a bit of highlight, a bit of colour. I love this blusher. It is my favourite blusher ever. But again, it's really, really expensive. So I found a really good alternative to that, and it is not the blusher to the e.l.f. contouring kit, but a blusher from Sleek, which I've got it in this Blush by 3 palette, but you can actually get it by itself, called Rose Gold, and it is practically the same thing. Now, there's been days where I've worn Orgasm on that side or on one cheek and the Sleek one on the other, and people can't have told, like, no one could tell it apart. They literally look like the same product. The Sleek blushes are so good, they're so pigmented, so well priced, and I honestly think that they're such a good alternative to the NARS. Sorry, they're such a good alternative to the NARS products. They're so pigmented, so easy to blend, literally, and they look exactly, the colour payoff is exactly like the NARS Orgasm. So if you're looking to spend a bit of money or you want to try Orgasm, I would definitely say give Sleek a go. The last product that I'm going to talk about is a dupe for the Orbe or Oribe dry texturizing spray, which is basically like a volumizing spray, and you spray it in your roots and then you kind of just zhuzh it up like that, and it gives you instant volume. Now, a bottle for about this size, which if I measure against my hand, retails for about £18, which is really expensive, I think, for something which you can find an alternative. So in my search to find something cheaper for this, I found the Charles Worthington Volume and Bounce Texturizing Spray. Granted, it's not as easy, not as small as the little portable Oribe one that you can just pop in your bag to take everywhere, but it is about £6.99 compared to this, which is £18. So, and it literally does exactly the same thing. I've used them both in my hair. I've tested it out really well, and I actually prefer this because this actually gives it a bit of a grip and a bit of a hold. So I actually prefer this because it actually makes my hair volumized for longer, whereas the other one, it is really good at giving it that initial volume, but it isn't as good as sticking in there in your hair. it doesn't make your hair feel horrible and crispy afterwards. It's just a really good way to give it the backcombed effect without actually backcombing your hair, and it's just really good. And honestly, I would definitely say that for the price value as well, this is such a good alternative. So there you have it, guys. There are my 5 top dupes. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gives you a bit of incentive to go out there and save some money, because there are really good products out there for a lot less of the price. I mean, I know because I've been spending money on these products and I've come up with things that I like just as much, or in some cases even more. So I really hope this video has helped you. I've just started this channel, so I really am looking for as much feedback as I can get. Please give it a thumbs up or leave any comments or anything which you might think might help improve my channel. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye!